Hello everyone, and welcome to this learning resource where we're going to be exploring the 4 pillars of advanced clinical practice in relation to your own work as advanced forensic healthcare professionals. But for this unit, we're going to do it in a rather different way. Rather than me sort of uploading loads of materials for you to work through, it's really a case of adult learning, andragogy, because I'm going to be directing you on specific ways to achieve the learning for this unit. You might be wondering with the documentation why we keep talking about advanced level practice rather than using the term advanced clinical practice. And that's because with NHS England and the other nations throughout the UK, they have a specific meaning for advanced clinical practice. So this isn't a program for ACP, although we do have a master's degree in ACP, but you are studying and working at advanced level. Up until a few years ago, before the advanced level practice came in, lots of people could finish a bachelor degree and go straight on to a master's, and many of those masters might have been called advanced practice. Notice just advanced practice. But when the former Health Education England brought out the notion of ACP, they said that people can't just go straight from bachelor's straight to advanced level. So gradually they came out with an intermediate one as well, which is called enhanced level practice, and now there's also the consultant level as well. So we're providing this whole program to you at advanced level, so hopefully you will be able to tap into various programs of advanced clinical practice if that's what you want to. Confused? I hope not. Okay, but that's why we're using advanced level. I know from teaching on the MSc Advanced Clinical Practice that so many of the students say that throughout the program they get taught about the 4 pillars equally, but what they often find is when they go back into clinical practice, they might be so overwhelmed with just doing the clinical side of the work, because that's what's expected of them by their employers, that they say little attention is paid to the other 3 pillars. So it's going to be really important for you as you move your careers ahead. Make sure you carve out ways in which all 4 pillars are given equal respect. So that's not just your clinical practice, but your educational potential, especially from level 7, that's where you're disseminating to others. So get involved with sharing learning with others as often as you can, and with research. Hopefully you'll carry on and do more studies after this postgraduate certificate, so you're carrying on the research element there, and also then with leadership and management, which is going to be really handy, especially if you're applying for promotion or in new posts. So with this particular unit, it's going to be really brief from me, because what I'm hoping to do is to inspire you to achieve your best with this learning. So I'll be guiding you, but empowering and enabling you to do your learning. On a few occasions that we've mentioned AI throughout your program, you know that the University of Greenwich is really keen for you to get involved in using this, okay? But our big emphasis is that you must be using it ethically and responsibly. And if you want to know more about what that means, on every Moodle site you go onto, in the right-hand panel, there's a link on there where you can check out the university's guidance on AI use, so what you can and shouldn't be doing from an ethical and a responsible user's point of view. But also, within the guidance for students, there's a declaration page as well. It's a word form. So if you are using AI towards any of your assignments, follow the university's guidelines on how to use it correctly. But then you also need to put a declaration in with your assignment to show in which ways you've used it, okay? So the whole spectrum of AI, whichever programs you're accustomed to using, and the university has bought a license for Copilot, and that's different from the general use Copilot because we're sort of protected within the university with this. So when you upload works, for example, it's not going to be shared around Copilot around the world, which is what usually happens, so that AI can learn more all the time. So it keeps hold of documentation, but we're protecting it. But we've still got strict rules about confidentiality, so please don't share stuff with people's names on or sensitive information. Okay, be careful how you're using it. And we don't want AI to replace your brain. It's there to supplement you, to help you, to be a study buddy with you, but it's not there to take away from your brain. Now, another way AI can really help you is in relation to the shortage of time you've got. We all realise that you've got great pressures on your time, whether it's your work-life balance, then bringing into this studies as well. So it would be lovely from an academic point of view for me to give you loads of resources and say, look, there's all of this that you need to be doing, so please work through all of this. That's not realistic. And sometimes you don't even need to work through everything. It may be certain articles or documents or reports that you only need an overview of. So using AI to help you that way can be a really beneficial process that you can adopt along with your studies. Another good thing with AI is you can use it to check you out. So supposing you do read a whole article or a report. Now, looking at it from a level 7 point of view, you want to be critically analytical. You want to explore this from different angles. So you're not just reading an article or a report cover to cover and thinking, oh, well, I've read it now, that's it. You do need to understand it and understand it at depth. So that's just another way in which AI can assist you. If you do have to read a whole document, or an article or a book chapter, for example, then I'd encourage you to read it first. See what learning you get from it. Maybe you even want to play around drawing a mind map of the main elements or the main themes that strike you from that work, and then check yourself by using AI. And that's what I'm going to show you to do for the rest of this session. So, I'm going to ask you to upload a particular document on the 4 pillars of advanced clinical practice, upload it to a particular form of AI, and the form I'm using here, I know some of you are using already, it's notebooklm.google, and it'll be free for you to use. So you're going to upload it there for the rest of this session, and then play around with it. Now, obviously, that document wasn't written from the point of view of advanced forensic healthcare professionals. So it's written on the 4 pillars. So what you want to do then is to explore it through your own learning, how that generic document on advanced clinical practice maps across to your fields, whether in custody or working in SARC settings. Some of you may be thinking, I'm not too keen on all these modern developments, or, it was never like it in my day. And I think I've told you on the module already that certainly when I started nursing, we used to talk about chalk and talk. Now, there is no going back, okay? This is going forward, and especially using AI. So the more you get used to using it now, and the more you use it beneficially for your own learning and your work lives, then going forward, this is going to become greater for you to learn, for you to develop, and especially across those 4 pillars. So don't just use it once and then think, well, I'm not going to go back to it again. Make this part of your regular skills development, and the more of a habit you make of this, then obviously you'll be building on your learning constantly as you go along. Look at this quote from a book chapter I wrote back in 2022, that it's not by looking back to a fixed point in the past, nor by trying to emulate or recreate that point in time, but by drawing on a plethora of digital resources which support and promote new or newer ways of learning. Okay, so there is no going back. We're going forward. Let's be part of that race as we're going forward. So let me share my screen now and show you exactly what I'm asking you to do. Once you've gone through this exercise using notebooklm, it will be really great then for each and every one of you, I say each and every one of you, to go onto Moodle and to share your learning in this this week's learning zone. Okay, so if you go onto there, say what you've learned from it, especially because what I'm going to do is to ask you to start exploring it from the role that you're currently working in. So although the document is written in a generic way, how do you then interpret it? How does it relate to you? And that's what you can share with us in the forum zones. Remember, when you go onto a forum chat zone, click the button that says Start New Discussion so that your name comes next to it. But as each and every one of you post your messages, please go in to read what the others are saying, and then you can also reply. You can carry on the conversations with them. If you want to upload something in there, supposing you've read a good article that you want some of the others to read, when you're in that dialog box in the discussion forum, if you just click the button that says Advanced, it'll give you another box below where you're typing in, and it's in that box you can upload documents. Okay, so just click on Advanced and it gives you the additional resource there. Okay, so I'll share my screen now. Okay, so I've gone to notebooklm.google. Now, supposing you were asking Copilot about how to understand this particular document, that would be absolutely fine to do that. But there are certain tools in this notebooklm that are quite unique and really excellent, and that's what I want to show you how to do, okay? So we're looking at notebooklm.google, and you just need to click the button that says Try notebooklm. So it's opening up pages. It gives you some suggestions if you want to play around with it, and it'll show you items you've already uploaded. So I just need to click the button that says Create a New Notebook. And you can put in websites, so you could put in this document directly from the website. You could put YouTube videos up. Look, there's so much that you can actually upload. But I'm going to upload a file, and I'm actually uploading the document I want you all to work on. So I'll put this in Moodle for you, and if you just save it to your machine, for example, save it to your device, and you can upload it from there. Okay, so I can give this notebook a title. So let me just, for argument's sake, call it the 4 Pillars of HCP, so I know what the document is. You might want to give it the exact name, but immediately it's given you a brief introduction in the middle. There is so much you can do. Look, it's suggesting some questions here. You might want to find out what the 4 pillars are defined in healthcare practice. So each of these buttons that you click, or if you type your own questions, it'll read the document and then explain it from there. So you might want to ask, how does this document relate to forensic healthcare practice? There you go. Look at that. See? Absolutely fantastic, and within a matter of seconds. Now, that's one thing you can do. So you might want to be typing in different questions, because this is quite a large document, and obviously, very few people would have the time to read it cover to cover. So this is a great way if you don't have to read something yourself, or if you do read it and you want to check out how accurate your learning is. If you then upload it to a program like this, it means that you can actually start asking questions and keep probing even further. There's your critical analysis coming in, because you're examining it from all different angles. And especially as this wasn't written for forensic practice, now by probing it that way, it can give you some really good ideas. Okay, but here are the tools I want to show you. Down the right hand side, there are so many. I'm going to click them all. Okay, because some of them can take from a matter of minutes to a matter of seconds to quite a few minutes to work this out. Now this one, the customize the video overview, this is new. Okay, so it's giving you different types of images. You may just want to choose I'm not sure which one to choose. Okay, let me just hit that one. Okay, this is new. I haven't seen this. I'm clicking for the mind map. Can you see down the bottom right-hand panel, it's generating these. So these will take from a few seconds to a few minutes. If you click on the report, it's going to ask you what type of report you want. So you've got lots of opportunities there to customize your own. I'll click on flashcards, quiz. I'll do an infographic. And I'm not doing the data table. So I'm not doing all of them. It depends on what you're actually doing, okay? But you can see that it's generating these, and already one of them, that's the mind map, has been completed. So let me click on the mind map to show you. Now, by clicking on the mind map, and you can move it around, clicking on the mind map, so you might have tried this yourself already. So if you're reading a document, make your own mind map. And then when you're using this to supplement your learning, you can check out, did AI design the same items on the mind map that you did? And then maybe ask yourselves even more questions. If not, why not? Okay? So you start probing more and more. And by clicking on these links, you can see that you can go into it deeper and deeper. Okay, there are lots of different areas that you can explore. Now, you might want to download that mind map. Obviously, if you were using this, for example, in a presentation or maybe on your poster assignment, you'd have to acknowledge this has come from notebooklm. All right, otherwise you'd be accused of plagiarism. You must identify that. But don't always let AI take over your learning in that way. So you might want to design your own mind map. Or then if you are using something from here, you must acknowledge it. Okay, I'm just going to close this one down and close it down again. Now, if you look at the tools down the right-hand side, you can see that some of the others have now completed. So the quiz is a really good one to do, and the various flashcards that you can look at. So when you're looking at these are going to start asking you questions. So if you've already read a document and wondering how well you've understood it, here's a quiz that you can do that's actually going to ask you about it. Two that I've mentioned to you before would be to look at the video overview and see how that's explained. So it shows you some really good slides based on the particular article or item that you've uploaded. So that's really helpful to look at that and to listen to it, but also to listen to the podcast. And when you're listening to that, you might want to download it, listen to it as you're out for a walk or in the car, whatever. You've got loads of opportunities to listen to it. So especially if you're working with a document that you find quite difficult to understand, you might be reading it for some time, but then also just hearing other voices this back to you can aid your learning in so many different ways. So I'm not going to show you any more of these. This is what I'm hoping that you're going to do for this particular unit. So what I'm asking you to do for this unit now is to open up notebooklm, use the document that I'm sharing with you, and then to explore it by using notebooklm. Learn as much as you can from it, but especially by asking different types of questions of it as well, so that you're going to get a good all-rounded understanding of what that document is talking about. And then crucially, for all of you to go on to Moodle, go on to the forum chat site and discuss this with us. So tell us, what did you learn? Maybe even share with us what questions you asked. and how accurate you thought the responses were. Remember, sometimes AI may make things up, so never take it that it's 100% perfect, and most AI tools will actually say that to you, especially if you're asking questions that then give further references to other resources. Always check out the references. They could be what's called AI hallucination. It's just made up. So don't take it at exact face value, okay? And that's another good tip for your critical analysis, critically analyzing the use of this whole program. So good luck, have fun, and please share your learning with us all. Bye-bye.